warm welcome to Blaze Radio. This is the FM service of the Blaze Communications Incorporated. We transmit to you from the rehab community around the Old Boss Turning Point. Good evening, welcome. This is I'd like to welcome you to the program, The Talking Point. And today is the first edition of that's in the month of May. And I'd like to say good evening to you and welcome to our broadcast. I'm going to be joined by our panelists as well as the host of this program later on this evening in our broadcast. But until then, we are going to be looking at some issues of national concern, and also we'll be talking a lot about issues of national concern tonight, since in fact we were unable to have our guests here tonight, but we hope and promise that we'll bring you our guests on tomorrow on the program, The Talking Point. Well, once again, let me say hello to you and welcome. And tonight we are going to look at various issues of national concern, like I mentioned in the intro. And we'll be looking at, firstly, on this segment, before I can be joined by the panelists. On this segment, we'll be looking at two things quickly. The first one is the issue with the motorcyclist. The motorcyclists, once upon a time, in the month of April, they told us that they are going to demonstrate because the government, by the time, said they are going to put a no-go zone restriction on them. The next issue again is the wave of fire incidents around Liberia. If you are in Liberia and if you were in Liberia from the beginning of this year up to this present moment, you are definitely going to know that the issue of fire outbreaks in the country is very, very serious. But let's break each of the topics down little by little. Let's begin with the issue of the motorcyclist. The motorcyclists contribute a lot to the society. They are helping, most especially the population in the country, to move from here and there. And they are also very much important to even the sick, the crippled, the old, and the young. As a matter of fact, they are also important to the students, the market people, teachers, and even workers. Of recent, the government uh, said that they are going to put a no-go zone on the motorcyclist. That's what it said. And it was because the motorcyclists, they are, you know, getting out of hand. There are too many on the streets, and they are applying the main streets of Monrovia. And so for this reason, they are going to tell them to stop at certain point, and turn around to go right back. We were also made to understand that the motorcyclists, as well as the Tricycle Union of Liberia, they were in talks with the Liberia National Police to see how best this issue of the no-go zone can be implemented. After some days, we were also informed by the motorcyclists that they were going to stage a protest. And the protest was because they are asking them to leave the streets. Well, unfortunately for us, we didn't see the protest though. What went wrong? What happened? Why the guys did not protest? For me, I'm not so eager about seeing them protesting. I'm not so eager about seeing them protesting. I'm eager to know about why they did not protest. Why? Why they did not protest. So we'll be looking at this tonight, and the next issue has to do with the issue of fire incident that is making airwaves in the country. After a week or two, the next week, you will hear that a certain place is on fire. After a day or two, you hear that this person company is on fire, and that's how things is like when it comes to the issue of fire outbreak in Liberia. So now we want to know exactly what are those mechanisms that are being put into place by the Liberia National Fire Service and those responsible for fire in this country. I'm kind of talking a little bit slow because I'm concentrating on something that I'm writing. Okay, so before we move forward, let's give you a little breakdown on the topic I'm discussing tonight. Okay, on the first topic, which has to do with the motorcyclist. Okay, so there's a police motorcycle union sign agreement on no-go zone. Police motorcycle union sign an agreement on no-go zone. Now, this is the story we are going to read for you before we can go forward. Okay, the Liberia National Police, the motorcycle and tricycle unions signed an agreement not to plow to some restricted areas in central Monrovia and its surroundings ahead of the May 15, 2024 ultimatum giving commercial motorcyclists and tricyclists not to operate in restricted areas. Okay, and so the agreement was signed on Tuesday, April 23, at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, and it followed initial opposition expressed by some motorbike and tricycle operators about the decision. Speaking during a signing ceremony, Anthony Nelson Freeman, Deputy Inspector General for Operations at the Liberia National Police, said the restriction of the cyclists is meant for public safety and to curtail accidents and crimes. Anthony Freeman, named from ELWA Junction, Japan Freeway, which is Gardnersville, from let's say from Red Line all the way to Freeport, that is the Japan Freeway, National Port Authority, and Broad Street in Central Monrovia, among others, as the restricted areas which motorcyclists and tricycle are prevented from plying. According to him, the memorandum of understanding signed between that's the Liberian police and the motorcyclist union is embedded with numerous training for the cyclists. He said the cyclists will be trained on road and public safety, and also training pedestrians how to cross roads, and also teaching them about the traffic lights and their respective colors stand for. Deputy Police Inspector General Anthony Freeman also disclosed that motorcyclists and that's our tricycle users, will be informed and they will be assigned a coding numbers based on their location in Montserrat County. The restricted or the restriction is expected to kick off on May 15 this year, 2024. Passengers are advised to list to those restricted places mentioned above. Okay, now let's come down a little bit. It says, for his part, the president of the Federation of Motorcycle and Tricycle Unions, John Kenya, said He strongly believes working collaboratively and constructively with state authorities will help keep the peace, that's the peace, that is, and stability of the country. For his part, the National Association of Motorcycle and Tricycle Union of Liberia, President John Kenyon, during the Liberia National Police press briefing, called on some of the journalists to stop publicizing the restriction on motorcycles and tricycles because their safety matters the most. This is just to remind you. Now let's go to the statistics of motorcycles and that of the tricycles in Liberia. Let's just go back there a little bit to remind you. Um, to give you the figure, because we were told that there are more than 250,000 motorcyclists and tricycle riders in the country. All right, let me get this straight quickly. Now, this is it right here. This is it right here. Um, the pronouncement was made on June 15, 2023, by the group's president, John Kenyon, who told the former vice president and stalwart of the opposition Unity Party that Liberia has over 230,000 motorcyclists and tricyclists nationwide. Let's get to this story quickly and we will come, we'll get you the. I'm driving at something and I will come back to you later on. Okay. One of the cell groups that have in recent times pledged their support to the election bill of former President Joseph Boakai is the Federation of Motorcyclists and Tricycle Union of Liberia. I'm reading back. The pronouncement was made on June 15, 2023, by the group's president John Kenyon, who told the former vice president and stalwart of the opposition Unity Party that Liberia has over 230,000 motorcycle and tricycle nationwide. Now, this is a fast check information that I am giving you. So, though the ultimatum is set on the 15th of May this year. On the 15th of May this year, we are kind of concerned as to why the motorcyclists decided to protest, and all of a sudden they call off the protest. What went wrong? What actually went wrong? Why the cyclists did not protest? We didn't hear any press statement from them as to why they did not protest. Nobody tell us anything. Now, we are also awaiting to see what will happen beginning May 15 this year, because the no-go zone ultimatum is set on the 15th of May this year. That beginning this year, no motorcycle or tricycle will be allowed to ply the main streets beginning from ELWA to Central Monrovia, the Japan Freeway, the National Port Authority, that is from Freeport to Central Monrovia. We're going to be looking at that. And besides the motorcycle and the tricycle riders, we'll also be getting views from citizens themselves as to how they feel about this law, knowing fully well that the motorcycle and tricycle riders constituted a certain portion of those who voted for this current regime. They are said to be on record that they contributed immensely to make sure that President Joseph Boakai becomes the president of the Republic of Liberia back in 2023. Now that he is the president of Liberia, now that he's the president of Liberia, now he is now, how should I term it, giving a blind eye or turning his back on the motorcycle and tricycle riders in the country. In fact, he is restricting them from their movement within the city limits. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people who are saying that it is necessary that the motorcyclists, as well as the tricyclists, stop riding within the city limit, most especially on the principal streets of Monrovia, like from EFWA Junction to Central Monrovia, from the Freeport of Monrovia to Central Monrovia as well as from the red light to Gardnersville, which is now the GPN Freeway, to Central Monrovia, as well as from Douala to Central Monrovia. The restrictions are being placed, and there are people who are now discussing it two ways. Some are saying it is necessary, it is good, it's going to help a lot, while others are saying while others are saying it is not good, it's going to suffer students, market women, market men, workers, as well as the older women, and you just name it, the citizen rate as a whole. So before we move to the next topics, I want to hear from you tonight. What do you make of this no-go zone that the Liberia National Police and that of the Motorcycle Union president or the Motorcycle Union have come up with an MOU stopping them from plying the principal streets in Monrovia? What do you make of that? You think it's going to help? You think by the motorcyclists not plying the principal streets of Monrovia is going to help in reducing crime and accident? That's my first question to you tonight. So maybe I can take some calls from our listeners. For those of you who are okay, for those of you who are listening, we also want to inform you that you can watch via Facebook, uh, Bliss Radio and TV. You're going to get us live on Facebook. You can also get us on YouTube, Bliss Radio and TV, and you certainly going to get us watching. We are also on StreamYard, streaming live from our central studio here in Monrovia, and we are on radio on 90.7 FM. So uh, we want to hear from you now. 0776 376 869 0776 37 68 69. What do you make of the motorcyclists? Because the restriction that is being put on them. Let's call this and talk to this caller. Hello, what's your name? Hello, what's your name?
Yeah, so
Okay. Welcome. Let's hear you.
yeah, firstly, I'm Tony Kekwa calling from Royal Idel.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah, this thing, what they talking about this no soon.
Mhm.
Can you imagine this government? We as motorcyclists, we better than
Mhm.
we who cannot put that we are decent people. See the street of Monrovia, see the death, see the sector of this police. This sector is breakdown totally. They're not even thinking about it. The government not even thinking about this, but they're running behind innocent people. You think we as motorcyclists, what are we doing in this country? We ride tricycle, motorbike at least to get our daily bread, to get our living. So if they post no-go zone, then how they expect us to survive?
Okay.
Get horse rent, send our children to school in our very self. And some of us try to we go to school is through motorbike. So if this comes that day in the country, we don't get money to buy a car. So that is total infringement to us. And we are saying to this government, this particular no go soon, that they cancel it. Mr. Keona, the only one in this country to go and sign fake document to post stop the motorcycle. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you all so much. I don't know what you call fake document though, but I'd like to thank you all so much for being a part of the program this evening. You can do this in 0776 that's 376869. Tell us, what do you make of the no-go zone restriction placed on motorcyclists? As a matter of fact, it's going to be taking effect on the 15th of this month. Who do you think this no-go zone restriction is going to affect? Is it the citizens or the motorcyclists? Is it the tricyclists or those who ride them to go to where they normally go to do their day-to-day activities and get ends meet? We want to know from you tonight. And if there is a recommendation, what will you be recommending to this government? Are you going to be recommending that they should do away with the no-go zone, or if there's a no-go zone, what do you want them to do? Let's hear you tonight. 0776 376 869. 0776 376 869. You're going to be live on the program. The talking point, like I told you earlier, we're going to be joined by our panelists who are putting themselves together to see how best they can get on the show. And when we get on the show, we're going to be discussing other national issues of concern as well. So let's hear you. The number is on. I'm so sorry. I mistakenly canceled this call. 0776 376 869 is the number to call, and you are going to be live. Let's go back and talk to this caller. Hello, what's your name?
Hello.
What is your name?
Yes, my name is James Koliba, calling from Wala Basota.
Okay, welcome, Mr. Koliba. Let's hear you.
Yes, I heard our president gave a 100-day speech today. But we, as Liberian young people, we didn't actually hear about us, about job employment for us, and nothing of such. I'm a motorcyclist.
Okay.
Now today, I didn't hear anything of such. So I'm really asking them to work on it.
Okay.
So they enjoy a way to go on.
Okay, thank you very much. I thought you were going to weigh in on the issue of well, let's see if we can talk to this next caller here quickly. No, this caller is off the line. Keep your calls coming. 0776 376 869. That's the number you are going to be live on the program here. I'm going to pin the number on the screen for those of you who are in the diaspora. Maybe you want to contribute to the program. You can do just that. But for those of you listening on 90.7 in Liberia, you can call me on 0776 376 869 and let's talk. You know, the 100 days deliverables speech the president gave today, we're going to digest that later on the program. That is when we shall have received our panelists on tonight. Let's talk to this person. Hello, what's your name?
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome. What is your name?
My name is Joseph, so I am calling for rehab.
Okay, Joseph. Let's hear you.
I'm a psychologist also.
Yeah.
And Joseph, you my brother, government. We were the one who voted the government. President, for me, I'm one of the highest supporters of the government. But backriding, this is what some are all doing to sustain our family for now. So what they are putting on the circle now is something that they are saying. They're trying to put some people in the street again, like before, to do criminal in the criminal rate again. So criminal rate will be one of the highest things within the nation again. So we are begging the Liberian government and other people to come in, because there's a thing that can bring war in country. If you see youth are crying, if you stop in such thing, then you should provide job for the youth. But now there's no job, then you putting everybody down. So how they are setting for us to look for our daily bread for our family. So we are begging the government and also to the president to redress the issue.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will talk to the next caller quickly here on the program. This person is here. Okay. 0776. We're still taking calls until we can get our panelists on board. I don't know why it's taking long today to come up, but let's hear you. The next issue we will also be looking at tonight after this motorcycle issue will be the fire incident that okay, I'll get to that. But take your calls. I mean, put in your calls 0776 376 and you are going to be part of the broadcast tonight with your contribution. What do you make of the no-go zone restriction that has been placed on motorcyclists as well as tricyclists in Liberia that will take effect on May 15? Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Fine. What's your name and where you call from?
Yeah, Johnson.
And what is your name?
I'm Kokro Johnson.
Okay, welcome, Johnson. Let's hear you.
All right, motorcycle, we have to change this country. We should continue doing wrong and wrong. The first and the parents who have people motorcycle to be. So we should call nobody get to live, we get other place to run. Happening from here to Togo or Broad Street. We get fucking, we get everyone for them to run. We need to run a big money. We just fool the people, not be bold to the people. Happening there from the street, or not corner, will not make money, will not go back to school, will not support their children. And yes, we should encourage them in it and make them feel happy. I will try to tell them, I will try to do something right in this country so they can move forward. The best already know on the map to be doing wrong. What people are doing wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your contribution. We'll still taking more calls. I can see the lines are blinking seriously here. This caller is here. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Welcome. What's your name?
Yeah, thank you. My attention. Well, my name is Gabriel calling from the community.
Okay, Gabriel, let's hear you.
Yeah, my attention has been due to taking motorcycles on the street. I think it's so soon for that. The motorcycle this time around, I believe they are on a going training. That the way we can see accident there have been a great changes. You don't see motorcycle involved into an accident like the way it was looking before. So I think the government should allow them getting after Ali. Let 1 year pass. Just to over. You have to over, they want to everything so soon. You have to be careful.
Careful what?
With the citizen, they are citizens too. And we all go together and make the government.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you ever so much for your contribution. Let's cross over and talk to this next caller. Hello, what's your name?
Mr. Phillips?
Yeah.
Thank you. This is Pascal Davis from District 6 in Masoro.
Okay,
Let me say thank you for the discussion.
You most welcome.
So, Anthony, the guys have always preached politics in it, and their politicking is so evil. It's so devilish to the extent that they use the ignorance of people and always keep the country backward. You can remember, I want to believe, when Joshua was building the road from Yerebia to the Red Light, it was a point in time where we wanted to take the marketeers from Red Light to Ominga just to have that road completed. The Unity Partizan is a buck on his team. He said Joshua was wrong to take the people off the street, off the market, because the country was hard, people were suffering, and all kinds of things they say. I know whether you remember that day.
Yeah, of course. I do know.
Yes, they said that. When we were backing the marketeers, just for that road to be constructed, we begged them. And they make issue of that that Georgia didn't love the people of Liberia. Today, you come to restrict motorcyclists. Somebody said if you go to Kigali, how many of you have gone to Kigali and see a street that there's no motorcyclists? How many of you have gone to Rwanda? How many of you have gone to Kenya? You just can get examples and lying. Or if you go to Kenya and there, you lie. That's a blatant lie. There is a system put in place. See the kind of challenge argument. Oh, the accident will be too much. But the other time I recall that 12 people ready to rehab. The last time I ever recall that boss killed people on the highway. The other time I recall that 10 killed people in Tolola. It was some motorcyclists.
Even though, let me just hold you there. Even though there are some accidents that occur that is being blamed on motorcycle or tricycles, but it is now all of them, and that's one. Now, my question to you is that who do you think stand to actually suffer from this no-go zone? Is it the motorcyclists or the citizens themselves?
It is all of us. Remember, there are others who will not just be able to go to town because, mind you, they're different kind of schedule. There are other people who will just want to go to town faster. There are others who will not have access to vehicle. There are others who, Stevens and Philip, we got to be very serious here. The Bwaka administration promise of job. The motorcycle are simply saying, while we are waiting jobs to come, the company that you're bringing, the over 200 companies are coming to change the country and create employment for our people. Then hold on small. Just allow our people to hire helmets, allow them to go to the street with their shoes or sneakers on their feet, and tell you nigga dress. Making of accident, my man, every kaka can be accident. You can work on one money and your phone break. So to all reckless say it is the motorcyclists who are increasing criminal rate. Look, I can say this for free. The rate now accident has reduced drastically because the motorcyclists themselves getting to understand that they got to be careful. They getting to understand that it's that way of life. So I mean, I see that as on the front, and more besides to just conclude, it is an infringement because the Constitution gives people the right to free movement. It gives the traffic and vehicle laws are clear that people must have access.
Okay.
So you can't come here and bring out your small charity and people must have start the street. The most will come to you.
Thank you very much. Let me talk to this caller and welcome one of our guests on the program tonight. Hello, what's your name?
Yeah, thank you very much. This is Emmanuel Richardson, and I joined the conversation from Upper Carwell.
Okay, welcome, Emmanuel.
Yeah, and I would like to say thanks for the topic of discussion. Honestly, I don't know, like the Unity Party, government do not know the priority, right? Yeah, I don't even think that Honorable Bwaka or President Bwaka know what you want to achieve. Honorable Bwaka during the campaign was passing around with a motorcycle from place to place, from community to community. And he told his guys that former President we are very wicked to them. He said that you guys have a future, and President we are trying to destroy you guys' future in your state. That President we are refused to bring company here or other opportunity for the young people. And the Unity Party promised you guys when they win, they will create opportunity for them. Some of them, they promise some of them to send them to school, promise some of them to go and get jobs. Today, Honorable Bwaka, I'm not even put any maternity thing to play just for the police to come up and say they will be taking our brother from on the street. I think it is wrong. I think Honorable Bwaka and the government need to think because you cannot promise people to support you. Honorable Bwaka always do this. Today, there are a lot of people who supported our women. They are crying because they don't live up to commitment.
Okay.
And these whatever guys, they are not people to joke with. You promise them. I hope that you live up with your commitment. And I can say this to you before I close. We will encourage you guys to remain on the street until Honorable Bwaka can put the proper marketing into place. Thank you very much.
Okay. You're most welcome. Let me see if I can welcome one of my panelists who've just joined us, Anthony W. Gay. Mr. Gay, welcome to the show tonight. I think your mic is being muted.
Yeah, I can hear. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, just go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yeah, much better. Let's hear you.
Great, great, great. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to our follower and the listeners. And
It is
look,
in the evening here in Liberia.
yeah, okay, yeah. I'm sorry. So here's
Yeah.
the thing. Granted, it is a people way of living, and I'm glad I'm on a show that we're having this discussion. I'm a big public safety person.
Okay.
Public safety is key to everything that we do. Safety in itself is a way of life, not a choice. I don't think safety, I act safety. Why? Because I want to go home safe. The way I went to work, I want to come home to my family safe each and every day. If you look at the traffic flow in Liberia, even the lawmakers themselves may matter worse when they went into their chambers and passed a law in Liberia for the lawmaker to plow on a tail lane. You know, you and I know there is no such thing in Liberia called a tail lane, meaning you are driving on the opposite side of the street, going the wrong direction.
Mhm.
In a very civilized country, you would never find that happening. But it is okay in Liberia. Ladies and gentlemen, in as much as this is a livelihood of many people, listen to what the IG has to say. I am not a supporter of Unity Party, neither have I support President JMB Bay for the presidency of Liberia. So I am not a spokesperson for his administration. I have been criticizing this administration since the outset, from the inauguration debacle up to present. But let's face the fact: many lives. Every motorbike you see, there is a life behind that motorbike. The motorbike does not move itself. Somebody is the conductor, somebody is the operator on that motorbike. And that person needs to be safe, first and foremost, before the passenger who is on the motorbike. Many lives could have been saved had these guys followed the proper principles and protocol of
Yeah. So
plowing the streets.
before you proceed, let me just ask you this question. Don't
Go
you
ahead.
think don't you think it is necessary to teach and train the motorcyclists about their safety and the passengers' safety enough, or you think it is necessary to just take them off the streets? Which one will you prefer?
I like the fact that you asked that question.
Yeah.
Any vehicle, before you operate it, there is a owner manual that tells you how to operate that vehicle. Even the generators that you see in Liberia, if you look on the generator, a brand new generator, there is a label on that generator that says emergency source of power only. That means you are not to run a generator 24/7 every day, 30 days a month. That generator is just an emergency source of power. Why? It is dangerous because it puts out something called carbon monoxide. You don't
Mhm.
see it, you don't
Yeah.
smell it, you don't touch it. So my approach, I like this approach. Get the guys off the street, the major street, not all the streets down there, but the major streets in Monrovia. Let's
Yeah.
have a conversation. You have a concern? Let's have a conversation. You want to ignore that discussion? You want to go protest? I provide security for you to protest. And your protest will not be achieved because you don't want to come towards to the table for us to have a dialogue. Listen, life. What is important? Eating or life? What do you want? All these people who are talking, all these people that are living, that are livelihood. Granted, do you rather meet that man in a box, being taken down 6 feet, or put around that little thing that they're doing, like build that little, what's the name? However they shove the casket in the vault,
Yeah.
right? Do you rather the guy in the vault, or you rather the guy have a chance to another life tomorrow? So
But
here is the thing.
there are many of those guys
Mhm.
who got families that depend on them from riding the bike,
Absolutely.
who are
Mhm.
sending kids to school from riding bike, who
Yes.
are paying their rents, and some of them are even going to school and they're earning money from the back riding. Now,
And I'm not against that. They have to do what they gotta do to survive. But guess
this,
what?
this
Do
is
it
my
safe.
this is my point. Don't you think it is very necessary indeed to have those guys train and tell them about their safety, then taking them off the street completely?
So how do you get to achieve your goal? You take the action necessary and get the people. First and foremost, nobody should tell you where the hell, man. Follow the traffic flow. Before you get on that bike, you might have been trained how to operate a bike. Is not a motorcycle, like a bicycle. It's a motorbike. It's an engine. Anytime you operate an engine, you have to be trained, professionally trained. Not because you got on the bike, you move the bike, so that means you're a bike driver, right? So it's like me, I'm in this vehicle. In order for me to do this vehicle, I had to go through a permit. I had to do a rating permit first, then I do a road test, then I'm issued a driver license. Even with my driver license, that does not necessarily mean I am a good driver. I have to practice for a certain length of time to follow traffic. When police pull me over, they'll not say, oh, I just learning. No, right? So here is the thing. Your life, this is about your life. It's not about the life of the police IG. It's just about your life, even though you're hustling, but it is about your life first. So public safety, I can tell you statistically, the motorbike accident with deaths in Liberia, if it's not the third or fourth higher death rate in Liberia, I stand to be corrected. We got to put this thing into data. Crunch the number, provide the raw data to this guy. Because myself, I was in Monrovia. I experienced it. You know what I used to tell the bike rider? My man, take your time. I will pay you extra. You don't have to rush. I will pay you extra. Just take your time. If that distance is about to take you 15 minutes, if you will slow down, it take you 20 minutes just because of me, I'll pay the 5-minute difference. Because guess what? I want to go home safe. These guys are most of them, not every one of them, are very rough. Because they are rushing, trying to get the next customer to drop them so they can make money. Granted, I am a hustler too. But guess what? I have to hustle safe. My goal is safety, nothing above safety. Even at my job, if my supervisor asks me to do something that is unsafe, I am not doing it. I'm pointing to that safety book. The manager second even convinced me, let alone the CEO of the company, to do anything unsafe. Because at the end of the day, it is me who is making that decision. It's not my boss.
Okay, I just want you to listen to me carefully, and let me read certain portion of the agreement that was being signed by the Motorcycles Union and that of the Liberia National Police.
Okay.
It says the Liberia National Police, the Motorcycle and Tricycle Union signed an agreement not to apply to some restricted areas in central Monrovia and its surroundings, ahead of the May 15, 2024 ultimatum giving commercial motorcyclists and tricyclists not to operate in restricted areas.
Correct.
The agreement was signed on Tuesday, the April 23, 2024, at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, and it followed initial opposition opposing expression by some motorbike and tricycle operators about the decision. Now, listen, this is the main point I'm coming to. Speaking during the signing ceremony, Anthony Nelson Freeman, Deputy Inspector General for Operations at the Liberia National Police, said the restrictions of the motorcyclists is meant for public safety and to curtail accidents and crimes in the country. Now, this is where I want you to listen carefully. Is to curtail accidents and crimes within the country. They are not saying within the city. So if you stop or restrict motorcycles from plying the streets of Monrovia, what do you do with those in Buchanan? What do you do with those in Kakata? What do you do with those in Ganta, Zreju, Harper, Bibo? What do you do with them? So there are no accidents in the parts of Liberia as well as crimes? No. So we don't want this thing to be, even if it will be done, okay, we lost him there, but I'm sure he's kind of planning to come back on. I'm sure he's kind of planning to come back on. But even if that is done, okay, even if that is done in Monrovia, placing a restriction on certain parts of Monrovia that motorcycles shouldn't ply. Okay, I think it's back on now. Motorcycles shouldn't ply. What do you make of the other counties capitals. Like I just mentioned, Basel, Kakata, Banga, Ganta, Vonjama, Zreju, Hapo, Plibo, and you just name it, Fishtown, Barclayville, you just name it. What do you make of them? So is it that there are places in Monrovia that should be restricted and the other places should be abandoned and the guys should go ahead? And another thing people should also know is that people should know that Monrovia or Montserrado County is not Liberia. If there's a restriction that should be placed at certain points, it should be across the entire country, not only Monrovia. I agree Monrovia is the busiest city in Liberia. I agree to that. But all restrictions should be cut across the entire country and not restricted to only Monrovia. And now, one thing my brother is not getting is that our society in Liberia, we've gotten used to the issue of riding motorcycle, even though according to you, the death rate is so high. But gotten used to riding motorcycle to go to our jobs, to go to school, to go to our marketplaces. Then even the taxi, the buses that ply the streets. So if you are putting a no-go zone restriction to certain parts of Monrovia, who are you harming? I know you may be doing it in interest of the motorcycle rider and that of the passenger, okay? I know which is necessary. But instead of you placing a restricted or restriction on them playing certain part of Monrovia, why don't you tell them, guys, we're going to restrict you from playing the street for a week or two because we want to have this training session with you. We want to educate you on road safety, on how to protect yourself, how to even speed with your motorbike, where to speed, when to speed, and other safety information, teach them about that, then restricting them. Come on, if you restrict them from plying the principal streets of Monrovia and applying the various streets in the various community, don't you think there will be accident? Don't you think crime will still be on the increase? Okay,
let me answer that. Pretty
Yeah.
simple. So, change in itself is a very difficult thing to achieve, right? I work in an environment that change is paramount, right? I have to change things the way I do things the last 6 months. I'm not doing things again. In the next 6 months, I will change that thing. So I'm so used to that kind of thing, right? But some people don't deal with change easily. And this particular thing, we have heard about it so many times and nobody have done it. In order to affect change in Liberia, you have to have the willpower and the guts to do it. And the only way you can do it, you have to do it scalably, right? Segment by segment. The IG position on this whole motorcycle control traffic flow situation. First of all, Monrovia is a very small city, easy to get around, but we don't have many interconnected streets to get people. So we have that one way, everybody coming on that one bridge. The motorcycle also, if I tell you, you won't believe it, cause more traffic than they help the traffic flow. They cause more traffic than they help the traffic flow. If you remove them, there will be easy traffic flow. Something like you're able to get to a place you're able to get to in 15 minutes because of the too much motorcycle in the street. It takes you about 2 hours to get there, right? If you have them out of the streets, you will get to your place, your destination nowhere. Now, they will not see this as a positive thing. They will see it as though money is coming out of the pocket. Initially, it will happen that way. But change takes time. What I want them to do, let their leadership go to the IG, sit with the IG, have this dialogue, and propose to the IG what will work for them. Instead of getting angry, you want to get in the street, the IG will provide security for you. You protest today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Are you achieving anything? No. So how are you going to achieve something? You have to sit with the IG and say, look, We can agree to do X, Y, and Z, scalable, step by step until gradually and get to the room. But this, the first thing first, public safety is the goal. We want to save every life in Liberia possibly. We already understand we have a challenge on the medical side. When you get injured, you don't have good hospital. You don't have good hospital. So there is something I learned in 5th grade, a book I read. I said prevention is better than cure, right? That is better that we can control this part of people getting injured to the head. We don't even have a trauma center, for God's sake. By the time your head knock on a quota, blood rush to your brain, you're done. Nobody helping you there. You don't even have the first dollar to even get a plane ticket to go to Ghana.
Okay.
Even if you have the money, time is not your best friend in that moment. You don't have the time.
So let me just hold you there and welcome the official host. Let me hold you there and welcome the official host.
No problem, Mr. Jerry. Thanks for coming.
The talking point. Mr. Jerry, welcome. Even though you keep kind of late, but
I'm enjoying you guys. So
I'm going to hold you there and talk to my callers here because the lines are still
They're
blinking.
not going to like me today.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hello?
Welcome. What's your name? Hello, welcome. What is your name? Are you getting me?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us your name and where you call from. Oh, he gone off the line, but let's see if we can talk to this next caller. Okay, the caller is also off the line. But 0776-376-8698 is the number to call. Let's talk to this person. What's your name?
Yeah, good evening. How are you? How are you?
I'm fine. What is your name and where have you called from?
Yeah, thank you very much. This is Mohammed Guitar. I'm calling from Clarendon, District 14.
You call from Clarendon. Okay, welcome, Mohammed.
Yeah, let me really commend you people for the discussion.
Okay.
You know, the motorcycle to remove them from the street currently, for me, not prefer. Because Onejo, the current president of the report, Liberia, President Joseph Nima Boakai, he promised the Liberian people for job opportunity.
Okay.
You know, that's the reason that he was willingly elected by the people of the country. Today now he win, no job, no other opportunity. Then you want to remove the motorcycle from the street. How you expect the people to live life? So the integrity and the experience that the identical president won on, then he tried to tell me that he will not understand why he's telling the Liberian people, almost journalists.
I know.
Because if you say that you are going to provide a job for the people, motorcycle workers, they are going to leave the motorboy and go to the company to get job, get employment. But if you not give them the job, you move them for out of the street, how you expecting they and their family to live? So it's quite unfortunate. Okay. So the experience and integrity all are lost. All that you have to go back on the drawing board to study another strategy how to get really motorcycle people.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's cross over and talk to this next caller. What's your name and where you call from?
Good evening, and I join from the city of Pinsville.
Pinsville is a very big city. Which part of Pinsville are you calling from?
Okay, I join from the area community, and I happen to be the head of the motorcycle advocacy movement, the concerned motorcycle advocacy movement.
Brilliant. Thanks for joining us. Let's hear you. About this whole issue we're discussing, I guess you've been following, right?
Yes, sure.
Let's hear you.
So, your Cody, one of the panelists, came in rightly when he spoke of the issue of educating cyclists about road safety, which is something that we as motorists have been yearning for, and though we are still yearning for it up to then, that was one of our frustrations then in the past government, and what we expected this government to have done is to come up with some of these programs and initiating these programs at least to educate us when it comes to the issue of road safety. Having motorcyclists, having that back intact, that back being roadworthy, it did itself being very decent and trying to teach them when it comes to places they should speed and places they should not speed. Also, all these things is brought down to leadership deficit. We got a group of people who the media, Liberians, the government have been trusted and believe that yes, indeed, they are working in pleasure of motorcyclists, but they are not. But these are people that generate money from us and use no account. And this money, what to do with it, no one knows. Yet they say that it's variable. And these are things we have been calling for. Like, let me reference one of them is John Keon, the one that signed an MOU with the government on the no-go zone. It's not that we are against no-go zone, but what we are against this time is not what we expected from the JMB Coon leadership. What we expect them,
don't let him go. I got some questions for him.
Yeah, don't let him go.
I'm not pleased to be a motorcyclist. And there are a lot of motorcyclists out there and cyclists. We are not pleased. But due to the country being a lack of job opportunity for young people, and we choose stability, and we don't want to be called Zogos, we don't want to be wayward. So we choose motorcycle as a means to sustain and get ourselves one step ahead. So if the government can provide opportunities for us, it will not get us riding motorcycle. So we are thinking that these are things we expect the government to get involved with. And especially when it comes to the issue of the leadership, I claim to be here in the motorcycle sector are the main embarrassment to the sector. So we think this government well sophisticated.
Don't let him go. Don't let him go.
Are you getting me? At least to bring out the necessary changes. But instead, coming with no-go zone is increasing more criminal rights.
Hello, are you getting me?
Yeah.
How possible is it that the leadership of the motorcycle union?
I'm getting you very low.
I'm saying, are you getting me now?
Move away from yourself.
Are you getting me?
Can you hear me when I'm talking from here?
Thanks for your contribution anyway.
Tell him to come to the studio. Tell him to come to the studio.
Tell
him to come to the studio.
Well, let me welcome Mr. Giroux, because I guess he's just joining us. He want to come in with something. Welcome, sir.
Look, I mean, to be honest, this topic, I had a different topic to discuss, but you chose the best thing to discuss today because it makes sense to me that this motorcycle thing is important. I consider myself a victim before, and also I've been very afraid. So this discussion is good. The guy who is the president for the motorcycle union, if he's listening to us, is he able to come to the office and come to the studio? We can pay a way to go back home.
Okay, so let me see if I can contact him while the discussion is going on. But the problem here is that I listened to Anthony. Anthony is saying that for public safety reason, it is necessary that the government take the guys from the streets, to avoid traffic crime and accidents around. I think he's calling back.
Document I need you to put it in the chat room. I want to put it up for those who want to read.
I think the guy is back. Hello, welcome. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. So what I want you to do, I don't know if you live around.
Yes, I was just on the line. I was cut off.
Okay. What I'm saying is that I listen to me.
Very low, I'm not getting you.
I don't know, but
listen, I just asking if he's able to come to the studio. Asking if he can come to the studio.
Are you getting me now?
I want to conclude on something quick.
Are you getting me now?
Okay. You getting me?
Yeah, go ahead. Just go ahead.
Yeah, let him go ahead.
Okay, so once again, I'm curious. So we are asking your institution, your media, your news for the opportunity of motorcyclists. Like I said, we have an application end, and we got a whole different issue when it comes to the leadership. As a matter of fact, due to the lack of the leadership that is headed by one John F. Keon, who has corrupted the sector, who have diverted every form that comes from other we the cyclists and from other parts to his personal news. At this result, we are calling for a vote of no confidence in the Union of Federation. As a matter of fact, we got two federations. One is headed by CDC and one is headed present now by Unity Party. The one headed by Unity Party is the one that's not here scary. The one that CDC has is the one that's headed by one called Thomas Scotty. So we cannot have a motorcycle sector in this country or have two different federations with 13 different unions. So meaning they are not in the interest of the motorcycle. So these are things we want the media, we want you people to look in between. Now you're talking about if you don't work for your studio, you're calling on your phone, you have nothing else to say, just brag up and say, make out of a blanket statement, and I read your back.
Okay. Thank you.
Asking if he can come to the studio. Asking if he can come to the studio.
I have his contact. I will call him. I have his contact. I will call him.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
You getting me?
You are live. Let's go. Let me hear you.
The internet be bringing you. You getting me?
You are live. You are live on the radio. What is your name and where have you called from?
All right, thank you. This is Eddie P from Chicken Factory. My mother responded defending, and I listened to my little brother on your show tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know that you knew destiny, but thank you, people, little brother, for your new destiny.
Okay.
Well, let me tell you something, my brother. I just hate for people to come and see where all the support that motorcycle gave you. That's how you decide to pay them. I think it is wrong. Look, you are taking food from the people mouth. I'll be honest with you. Some of the guys there, they ride motor, but they pay their school fee. They're in the university. They're taking care of 2-3 children there. If you move them and put them in the community, what do you want for that person to survive? So it's not wickedness to the motorcycle, but I can tell you, nobody will stop for getting in the street. Will get in the street. If anybody tell us when I get in the street, I can promise you that nobody will be in peace. Even the taxi driver, the private car, nobody will be in peace. I can guarantee you on that. Thank you for the opportunity. This is Eddie P from Chicken Factory.
Okay, Eddie, thank you. Thank you for.
Okay, just hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute. Let me just say this. For the motorcyclist leader who spoke earlier, if you are listening to us, we want you to come to the studio. If it's for transportation,
I just want you guys to keep talking so I can get in contact with you.
Get him. Let me put you in the bag and get him. So, Anthony,
please.
You raised some very great issues. Okay? And one of the issues you raised when I was listening, coming from Bay Smile all the way, was nobody should expect to get on a motorcycle if you don't know how to ride, if you don't understand traffic rules. Because before we put our vehicle in the street, we must understand what we are doing. When the police pulls you over, you're not going to say, were you able to read a book, or were you not able to read a book, or you are a new rider, so I forgive you. So the motorcyclists themselves, their union need to find a training program for them. Okay, while it is true that the government may be able to subsidize some of the trainings, because the good thing about the government to train them is to provide public safety. Absolutely. So the only question now, Anthony, is at what would be the interval when you take them from the street now? Is it permanently, or are you providing a panacea for you to bring them back in the street with them understanding how they are going to proceed? Or you are just going to take them from the street and then that's it. You leave them and they are no longer, because even the number of motorcycles in the community will double, because now they can't go to Monrovia, Central Monrovia. They can't go to certain parts of the city. So they are stuck in the communities. In the community where you have 50 bikes before, you're going to have 200 bikes because they can't go anywhere. So what is the government's strategy of alleviating this problem? Are they planning a training program? Are they planning a special kind of permit for them, for those who will be able to ride a bike better? That's my concern. That's my concern.
Absolutely. So let me give my disclaimer again. I am not the government spokesperson. I never supported this government, and I'm also critical of this government. But because I am a person who believes in public safety, this topic is very important to me. I too was almost going to be a victim of motorcycle accident because of the way the guy ride in Monrovia. However,
Anthony, for 1 minute. Anthony, got something for us? You are muted.
He has agreed to come, and so he's on his way coming.
Great.
Good, Philip. Good. Mr. Jerry, I will talk to you behind the scene for the guy coming.
Listen, Anthony, I'm going to take you off air. There's another, if Amos is order, there's another webcam that you can put in there to put him on air. Otherwise, he can yet be in studio and he will listen to us and respond. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Anthony.
So Mr. Jerry, like I said, I am not a spokesperson of this government, but according to what the IG said, right? I followed the IG when he was invited to the United States here by Councilman Russell in Minnesota, where he sat with the police chief in Minnesota and Minneapolis over there, and they discussed, they have a whole lot of stuff, and I was moved by that, because there's our police IG coming to the United States, sitting down one-on-one with a police IG to find out better way of policing. Now they're talking more about community policing, wherein the police will partner with people within the community just so they can have access to the people. to serve the people, not to intimidate the people. This is the kind of thing we want to see in Liberia. Police should not be intimidating to the citizen, but rather, be the protector of the citizen. Now, according to the IG, this is a process wherein they are inviting all of the motorcyclist and the tricyclist leadership to come to the table so they can come up with something permanent. Right now, this is temporary. They are trying to control the traffic flow in central Monrovia. Look, Mr. Jerry, you been there. We know how it is. Nobody have to tell you that. It is very chaotic. It is very bad. And in terms of accident, in terms of casualty or collateral damages, you know it, and I know it's very bad for the country. Now, I understand the plight of the people. This is a way of surviving. Many people depend on this, and they do it. Liberia is not the only country that do the motorcycle thing. The Great Ivory Coast, they have it there, but guess what? You will not find that in Plateau. You will not find that in Cogo de Angre or Rivera area. No. But you go to Abobo, you go to Yopukon Wasakara, Sipohes, you will find these things in those communities, right? Because they are permissible there. But on the major streets in Trevi or Boulevard Lego, all the major, you will not find them there. Why? Because it's risky. First of all, they have paved roads. The roads are so good. These guys are flying on the road. Motorcycle will not even have a chance to even plan them.
Let's face the fact, okay? The motorcyclists they are talking about, we feel for them when they talk about their livelihood, when they talk about their survivability, when they talk about how they use it to support themselves in school, to support their family, to buy food, to put food on the table for their family. But they are ignoring the major part of this thing here.
Yes.
Listen, at this place junction, before you get to Tingo Village Junction, there was a truck that they burned. According to them, this truck hit a motorcyclist and they burned the entire truck. What I'm trying to say here, Anthony, is the motorcyclists themselves have created a sentiment against themselves. Because I'm driving. Anthony, when you're driving, the guys pop off from your right, they pop off from your left.
From your left.
They pop off from everywhere. So if I'm about to bend right and you just pop up and I hit you, then you have to blame my car because I hit a motorcyclist. They created the negative sentiments against themselves, and that negative sentiment has entered into the government security apparatus, and they say, you know what? While it is true that we want motorcycling in the street, we also don't want a situation where people go and burn people's property. They are not riding properly. They are, in fact, look, it's so bad. There's a guy, there was a lady I was in the car with my wife, and this guy was, helping this lady in the wheelchair. Anthony, there's no way I will see the guy that pop up into the truck. There's no way I can see a guy and a person in a wheelchair and still try to go. I stopped. The motorcycle behind me, he hit my bike and broke his motorcycle. And I parked to go there. My wife said, you're not getting nothing out of that man. He ain't got nothing to give you. So let's leave our car. We'll go face our car and just go. So we are also a victim, Anthony.
Absolutely. And so let me just say this, right? I heard the other guy say, oh, when they want the product, we'll do it with bread. Listen, you were speaking out of anger, out of sentiment, whatever the case may be. Let me say this to you. For a person who lives safety, study safety, have OSHA 30 license in this country, I can tell you for a fact, to get OSHA 30, it's not a joke, right? So once safety come into play, there's no shortcut to it. Matter of fact, many companies now, when you get injured on the job, they'll go through all the safety protocol and see if you violated any of them before they can even pay you. That's how they do it. But let's speak to the situation in Liberia. If you want to have a free flow of traffic in Monrovia, your motorcycle union is responsible to train its associates. not the government responsibility.
That's their responsibility. It's not the government.
You understand? Everyone know come and say, but the government can help the train. That the government collect that money you collecting from the motorcyclists. Your association collecting every day.
It's not the government responsibility.
What are you doing with that money?
You don't get trained here for driving here.
Yeah. You think that the government pay for our driver license?
No.
No. You are doing a business.
The vehicles in Morovia, the government don't pay for their license. They pay for their own license.
So here's the thing. You need to train your guys. You need to have weekly training, monthly training. You don't even know the statistics of the death rate and the accident rate and the casualty you causing. You don't even have the stock. If you do, you will take a step back. And another thing you don't consider, you don't have equipped medical centers in Liberia so that when you have a trauma issue, because the first thing motorbike does to you when you fall, that your head, okay?
But
you're going with your head.
No. You raise a good point. I'm not going to let you fly with this point. The issue of helmet, my brother. Look, I was driving and I saw the motorbike guy. Wow, boo, and he fell down.
Yep.
Now he was lucky that day. I wasn't close to him. He was also lucky there was no
oncoming traffic. Yep.
Died. But they don't even wear their helmet. They
don't.
Over and over to wear the helmet, and they refuse to wear the helmet. I want Anthony to come here and defend the motorcyclist idea because he's in Morovia. He can play the devil's advocate tonight. Why are they not wearing the helmet? Why are they moving from passing by people from both left and right? Don't they know that if you take the parking lane, nobody's going to overtake you on the right hand? Anthony, how many people have you overtaken on the right hand when you're driving? How many people?
In America, I don't do that.
You can't. When you're on the parking lane, you don't overtake people on the right hand. I don't care whether the sidewalk is big enough for you to pass there. But the guys, when they are driving, they pop off from your right, they pop off from your left, and you don't even know what to do. And I'm gonna hit the other guy. If I were not looking, I would like hit him, and they would like burn my entire vehicle and probably beat me to death or something, because that's what they do. Once you hit them, it means you are wrong, you meant to do it, and stuff like that. Let me bring on Anthony Phillips here. We have the motorcyclist, I believe, in the place there. Let me see if he has his camera on. Thank you very much for coming, my brother.
I got Anthony on the screen twice.
No, I know why he did that. Yeah, He tried to create a second
screen for the guy. Okay.
Second screen for the guy. My brother, what's your name?
No, he is not here.
Oh, okay. So you just created that for him.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take that one from the screen, and then when he comes, we'll bring him on. Anthony, thank you. I wanted to tell you how to do it, but you know that you're smarter than myself. They want
when you say Anthony, like you calling me too now.
They don't want nobody to teach them anything. I was waiting to blow my morale on it, man. I knew the man already know what to do.
Okay, so in Liberia, riding motorcycle, if you are riding motorcycle with a helmet and all of the safety gears, it's necessary. But people take you to be a newcomer, someone who actually don't know the street that much, and someone who is also considered as a old-timer. Okay, but once you can ride motorbike without a helmet, without all of the necessary safety gears, the only thing you have on. Listen, even police officers in Liberia ride motorcycle without helmet. Yes,
I've seen it.
Okay,
I've seen it, but the man said this is wrong.
Now, if they are the one telling the people that it is wrong, why are they doing it? Okay,
well, we gotta start first by removing it from the major streets, and the second thing we'll start enforcing the helmet rule. But until then, we gotta remove them from the major street first. Then we start.
So who are you in the whole thing? We'll remove them.
When I say who I am, I support the RG initiative. Look, the traffic. Morovia is a tiny city. In an hour and a half, you can plow Morovia. But it takes you almost 2 hours from one location to another. For what reason? That tiny city, tiny little place.
That's just it. But
so the reason why traffic is like the way it is, nobody follows traffic rules in Liberia. Nobody gave that friend the right. They don't even know the thing they call the right of way, because the person who gets at the stop sign first is the turn, and on the right hand side is there at the first to go before the other. Nobody. I was at the intersection of Park Up Pin. I guess see everybody coming today. I know what is going on here. Duper Road Junction, another bad area.
Okay.
A 4-lane stop sign, nobody follows it.
Now, let me just hold you there. You know, during the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf regime, they had this no-go zone stuff. It did not even go for 6 months. It dissolved, and the guys started applying the street everywhere.
I don't think it will be with the new IG.
I come in. During the George Weah administration, they attempted doing it. But because former President Weah wanted re-election, so he said, hey, I don't want to temper with my guys, so let me leave them. Now, if the government know exactly that, they won't tolerate this thing. Why they started it? Why you started something you know that you will not end? Why they started it in the first place? You should.
First of all, if you want to bring politics into day, we can play the political game with this. But let me just say this. Let's take politics completely out of this. You don't have good hospital. When somebody get hurt, what are they doing?
There is no way we can take politics from out of this, because it is.
Yes, we can. You just chose to use politics.
No, it is because of a political reason. This is why they are asking the guy. You listen to the guy. He's on his way coming. He said the motorcyclists, they are divided into two. You have the CDC version of the Motorcycle Union of Liberia, and now the Unity Party version of the Motorcycle Union of Liberia. It is the Unity Party version of the Motorcycle Union of Liberia that went into the memorandum of understanding with the Liberia National Police that yes, they do agree for the no-go zone restriction to take place. Now, I don't know if it is the CDC version of the Motorcycle Union of Liberia that is actually going against this decision. I don't know, but let me hold you and see if I can talk to this caller who has been on the line for long. Hello, what's your name? Oh, okay. I think I lost this caller. You can call back. Sorry, I kind of put in points, but you can call back, and you're gonna be live on the program. 0776 376 869 0776 376 869, and you are going to be live on the program.
Well, Anthony. While Anthony is doing that, let's go back to the agreement. Let's read the agreement one more time. That agreement is very, very good. Let's go back to the agreement and see what the agreement says. And we'll read it slowly for those who are not reading it from, you are listening to us from Blaze 90.7 FM. We want to say thank you for joining us. This is a story about the agreement the Liberia National Police, the motorcycle and tricycle unions signed an agreement not to apply to some restricted areas in Central Monrovia and its surroundings ahead of the May 15, 2024 ultimatum giving commercial motorcyclists and tricyclists not to operate in restricted area. As Gamma never.
That's the reporter who did this.
Okay. The agreement was signed on Tuesday, April 23rd, at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, and it followed initial opposition expressed by some motorbike and tricycle operators about the decision. Now, speaking during the signing ceremony, Attorney Nelson Fremont. Nelson Fremont is the Deputy Inspector General for Operation. If you have his number, if anybody have his number there, you can give us a number. Anthony, you try to place a call to him to hear from him. What are this agreement? He can make a comment on that. Anybody who got Anthony Fremont's number, please text it to our number. Anybody who know my number, please text it to me. We want to talk to him while we are still on air. Police said the restriction of the cyclists is meant for public safety and to curtail accidents and crime. That's where my interest is. There are three things they say they are doing here, Anthony. One, for public safety. Two, for accident, to curtail accidents. And three, to curtail crimes. Now, Anthony, I want you to speak to this crime thing. What does the deputy IG mean to curtail crime? Is he accusing motorcyclists of committing crimes?
Good question. So, Mr. Jeru, when places are chaotic, right? A lot of things happen, and people take advantage of a chaotic situation all of the time. From a security perspective, when a place is in order, it takes a criminal a longer time to react. But when the place is crowded and chaotic, the criminal can react and get away faster. So yes, yeah, much as all of these things have been going on, people driving in traffic, that other people have been exploiting this opportunity and doing harm to people in the streets. They've been doing that, but you can't catch them because of the way traffic is going. Things are happening so fast, and you won't realize what's going on. They're snatching people's phone at places like Dubai Road Junction, and another person is being hit with a bag. By the time they go there, before they make up their mind, another person now snatch another person's phone. The place is chaotic. Now, if you control that, you also avoid all of that circumstances that is happening. If you control the traffic flow, you saving life, because unnecessary accident that should have happened, you just avoided that. If the motorcyclists also are trained, they will also conduct the back good. 3 things will happen: their back will last longer. They will preserve their life. They will avoid accident, killing themselves or injuring themselves, and also their passengers will be happy, will trust them more and more, right? Some people, they can only take back there at the last minute. It is not the first option. They will rather go to track it, walk, or see if another person in that community going to that same direction who they trust, then they take a random backer.
I am concerned about the crime aspect of it. We have been hearing a lot of stuff.
A lot of crime been happening, but they can't identify them because the place is chaotic. That's the reason. Criminals are exploiting that avenue.
What I don't see in this release, which is sad for me, is the government remedies process. What is the remedy they put in place? Now, Fremont named ELW Junction, Japanese Freeway, National Port Authority, and the Broad Street in Central Monrovia, among others, as a restricted areas which motorcyclists and tricyclists are prevented from flying. According to him, the memorandum of understanding signed between the Liberian police and the unions is embedded with numerous trainings for the cyclists. Now, we want to know what you mean by embedded with numerous training. What does that mean?
The memorandum itself is a little vague, right? And I like the way the IG spoke about it today, right? His press conference was, even though we took this initiative to restrict certain streets for now, it is not order to it. We need the motorcyclist union to come forward, or even elements among the operators can join the union leadership and come forward and proffer ideas. If their ideas is more reasonable and feasible to be implemented, they will go with it. They have an open arm. They are extended. They always.
No, I think Anthony. I think there's a deception here. And Anthony Phillips, tell me if I'm wrong. You can't just say this process is embedded with training for them. You have to state specifically that the government of Liberia has identified training in so and so time, so and so date for these people. Because before you come up with a ban, you must have done your homework, Anthony. You must have done your homework. You can just say embedded with training. They don't know. It's a free talk. There's no concrete, action that we can see in there. Oh,
in fact, they are using this as a means of getting the guys off the street. Let's be clear and fair right here. They are just using this as a means of getting the guys from off the street. If what Anthony is saying, if it is exactly what the government should do or will be doing, which we expect that they won't do, I don't think people will have problem with that. But the motorcyclist guy who we talk to is calling me, so you can just continue.
So, Anthony, I mean, while it's true that I do appreciate your view about that. Is that the government itself, if they don't want to train people, they're not forced to do it. But if you are going to be talking about training people, you got to be very definite about what you want to do. You can't just say, "Oh, we are taking them from the street and they're going to be benefiting from a lot of training." So you decided to take them from the street on the 15th of May. Now, but you're not telling us when the training process is going to begin and what is going to be the ultimate result. Anthony, that's what we want to know. We want to know if you train them, after you train them, are you going to return them to these places or there is a permanent ban?
Fair criticism, Mr. Jeru. That is fair. Perfectly fine. Again, I'm not a government spokesperson. I don't work for the government. I also criticize this very government. But let me just say this. May 15th, that's 2 weeks from now, right? So the motorcyclists and the tricyclist union, this is the time. This is a perfect opportunity now that, hey, you have a meeting with your guys. You got down something. Don't just show up to the Liberia National Police headquarters without any alternative. Sit with your guys. Don't get angry. Sit with your guys. Say, okay, here's the situation we're faced with. How do we proceed from here? Get yourself together. Put together some rating, agreement from within, and then take it to the national police and just sit with the IG and discuss. That's how people do it. You want to get in the street, fine. The IG will provide security for you. Just don't break anything. If you break something, they will discipline you.
Why would they be going to the street for? Because we want to know also why.
But you hearing them now when they call and show the best thing they will go in the streets.
They will go in the street, but I also want to know, Anthony, why it is true. We want to get a definitive position from the government. We also want to know what they will be protesting for. What will they be asking for? Are they asking for a blanket removal of this ban, or are they requesting for the government to do certain things? You can't just go in the street. You want to demonstrate, fine. You want to protest, fine. But
absolutely,
what is your request? What do you want?
What is the agenda? Yeah, that's the thing. So Mr. Jeru, the thing here is, that all be fair. When there is factories and other employment opportunity, many folks who are on the back will not be on the back. That is true, right?
Okay, let me
until we have factories.
Let me bring in our panelists and our guest. Anthony, are you hearing me there?
Yes, sir. I'm getting.
Okay, the other guy there. What's your name, sir? Yes.
I'm a cyclist.
Anthony, mute your mic and use his microphone. There'll be no feedback.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm good.
Yes, you're good. Go ahead.
So I'm Claudius KP Udell, a motorcyclist, and I'm heading an advocacy group within the motorcyclist shelter called the Concerned Motorcyclist Advocacy Movement.
Okay, thank you for coming on, and we appreciate you being on here. You are here. You are representing a lot of voices. We understand that there are different factions in the Motorcycle Association right now, right?
Sure.
So how many factions are there now that we can look at and say these are the divide?
Well, we have approximately 13 unions and two federations.
13 unions and 3 federations?
Two federations.
2 federations. Why we have 2 federations? What are they? I mean, are they supporting different sides based on political leaning?
So the shelter has been politically charged, and I would say from what we have seen over the years here in Liberia, when then CDC took power, we had one federation. That federation was then headed by one John Keyon. But then other group but then saw it that he was not being accountable and saw so many irregularities coming from his leadership. So, and now wanting to relinquish power. So CDC then decided to establish another group called Nafronta, based let's say those guys then are within the shelter that saw interest in CDC. So they went about establishing another motorcycle federation called Nafronta, and while Fronto is in existence. So as we stand right now, we have 2 existing federations within the motorcycle sector in Liberia called Nafronta and Fronto, which shows the deficiency within the sector and also display how the sector has been politically driven by politicians.
Is it possible that you facing the camera now? When you look on the side, on your left hand side, you are facing the public. So if you can try as much as possible to look like this, that would be great. You don't have to change anything. You can, yeah, okay, you look good like that. You look good like that. Okay. So, okay, now you came on here because of the issues you raised. That's why I told my producer to bring you on here. And your concern looks like you're not in support of the restriction that begins on May 15. Is there any part of that the restriction that is not good for motorcyclists that you want to be removed?
Yeah, regarding the restriction, there is something that the government have been using over years, not just this Bwaka Kun regime. This came to birth during the Ellen Lay regime. And there is this thing that people are using, especially those of whom in the diaspora and Liberians home, are using as a means of comparing Liberia with other countries, especially within our West region. That in these countries, you do not see backflying these principal streets. And looking at Liberia just coming from the Civil War and the economy not being to that point to provide equal job opportunity and livelihood for all citizens. We saw then pimping coming to Liberia, and people are using these things for commercial purposes just to get ourselves involved into one or two things to provide for ourselves and also to move forward in life. So that grew up to a point that we saw bags of different types coming to Liberia, and it automatically it turned to be a serious commercial business in Liberia, where you see the Indians and all people importing bags. So as a result, many young people, many of us saw it that is a means of getting involved into something, doing at least not to be liability. So people, the amount increased, the amount of rider increased. In fact, you got young, you got elderly, and people got involved into motorcycle riding.
Okay, let's see. Let me hold you there. Let me hold you there a little bit. We want to go straight to the point.
Okay, so I just wanted to go back there, but with the issue of the no-go zone, I just wanted to get a basic why the no-go zone came out. But then let's just focus on what came out of recent. So what I'm trying to go at is that this no-go zone have been used as a means to infringe on our rights. If you go to Article 13 of the Liberian Constitution of 1986. But while it is true that people are saying that the motorcyclists, we do not want to be regulated, we want to be lawless, we don't want to be law-abiding, it is not truth. It is just difficult in Liberia for certain things to happen. And one of these things is just the issue of the no-go zone restriction. There are certain development, like I've said on so many platforms, there are certain development before you achieve, you must have done certain things. Like before your team master, you must have BSc. Before your team BSc, you must be having a high school diploma. So we say we should not allow motorcyclists to ply the principal streets. Then we ask the questions in Liberia. There are how many streets in Liberia? There are how many streets? And how many cities do we have in Liberia that give a complete distinct?
Let's go to Article 13 that you refer to. Article 13. Let me,
Mr. Jerry.
Let me read Article 13 A and B, and you tell me what part of the Article 13 you're really trying to reference. Article 13, Section A says, every person lawfully within the Republic shall have the right to move freely throughout Liberia, to reside in any part thereof, and to leave therefrom, subject, however, to the safeguarding of public safety, public order, public health, and morals, or the rights and freedoms of others. B says, every Liberian citizen shall have the right to leave and to enter Liberia at any time Liberian citizens and non-Liberian residents may be extradited to foreign country for prosecution of criminal offense in accordance with the provision of an extradition treaty or other protocols, international agreement in force. Non-Liberian residents may be expelled from Liberia for cause. So I believe you are talking about Section A. So let me read Section A again. Section A says every person lawfully within the republic shall have the right to move freely.
Okay, so that just it right there.
Okay.
That just it right there.
Exactly.
No,
That's
it was
what
not
I
right there. We gotta finish the whole paragraph.
Okay.
But here is the thing. Here is a caveat. Here is a caveat. The caveat was you have the right to move freely, but the government also have the right to institute measures for public safety, for security, and all of that. Do you disagree with that?
No, I cannot disagree with that.
Okay.
Actually, mute yourself, and then you will be able to.
No. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we speak of all Liberians should have the right to move freely. While it's true that state security or the government will come in to put into place policies to to ensure the safety of our of Liberians, we should be looking at what are the alternatives that have been given in terms of road connectivity. We should be looking at these things. Big brother, you've been in Liberia and you are Liberian. You have only one ride. That ride is from EW Junction straight to Sincor.
Yes.
There's no other detour you use to get to Sincor. There's no other road. There's no other street you use to get Sincor. So that's just one of the challenges. If you having an executive route in a country, in a city like Monrovia, and that executive right is used for administrative purposes, where the power of the day are executive administrative cities, then you will have the issue of putting into place policies to get road and safety or to preserve the life of Liberians. That is to say, okay, this ELW junction from ELW junction straight to UL campus. This route is an executive route, is used for administrative purpose or government officials and others. So on this road, we do not need any heavy vehicle like trucks, trailers, or continuous motorcycle, tricycle, or taxi if the need be. Then, but then you should have an alternative for these people, another street that they will use to get.
Okay.
To
Thank you. You are raising a very good point. Yeah, I come in. Let me ask my last question, and the other panelists will ask a question. First of all, let me apologize to our audience that will have this feedback today, but we'll work on that feedback. You will not hear again. So you can't hear. Give me the headphone. There's no headphone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, give me the headphone. Anthony, Anthony, you don't have to come up for now. You can stay in the back. There's no problem. Let the guy just be on. And you work with him. Just work with him and put a headphone on him. Let him hear me. You can hear me right now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm going to ask you one more question, and I'm going to ask the panelists to ask you his question, and we're going to move on. So my question is, you people want this ban to be lifted because it is used for your livelihood. Does the organization, since you are an advocate in the organization, is there any plan by the organization, either one of the unions or both of the unions or the different groups, the 13 different groups, do you guys have any plan to train your own people so they can behave or do things rightly, so the police will not go after you people? Is there any training plan for you?
This is where I will want to really love all of the listener and the panelists to give a keen attention to, because this is where the issue are. Like you said, I'm an activist. we decided as young people within the shelter, we said no, we cannot be nukes by other people just for their own selfish gain. So we will speak out the ilks and make sure to crowd on people to join us, to know that there are so many things happening within the motorcycle sector that should not be happening. And that's just one of the things you said. That's one of the things we're really yearning for, so that we can be trained. Like I would say that I want to driving school, our team driving certificate. I got a little vast knowledge when it comes to road using, but there are so many motorcyclists out there. And in Liberia, I mean, you can just go buy a motorbike tomorrow, you join the race and riding. No one question you. I mean, the government don't even get time. So what we have been saying is that we are claim. They have claimed that we are being governed or guided by a group of individuals that have been called union, and this is where the laxes of the union comes in. They should be able. They should be in a position or putting out mechanisms or initiating programs, making sure that motorcyclists are in conformity with these programs and laws coming from government arm, and getting the sector or initiating a system that will better the sector and put the sector on path with other African countries. I mean, we want to see that. I'm used to smartphone. I want to see myself having a tracking system. I mean, where you just sit in your house and just get me on, and then you hire me. I come straight to where you are and pick you up. Like it is only other African countries. No. So we are saying this is the sector, and I want you to listen to this. You can be a help to the motorcyclists. There's a sector that has that has the power to generate huge revenue for the country, but the government and people have it and feel that it is not. But let me just give you a low amount. Now, each motorcyclist in Liberia, for example, we are approximately 200,000 in Mosurado. But each of us have been demanded, have been harassed to subscribe to the union by contributing to them 7,000 LD a year. We purchase ID cards, we purchase tickets and stickers from them. Now, if you mount the price of all these things, it gives you 7,000 LD a year. If you just take like 100,000 motorcyclists in most rather that are buying by the rules, it tells you that those guys generate 700 million from all every year. Now, you have institutions that aiding us through them. They do business in our name. There are people that give them forms in our names. But of the forms, there have been no accountability as to how the funds comes in, as to how the funds have been utilized. No. Besides, no motorcyclist in Liberia can boast of having access to the bylaw and constitution of the union. Absolutely not. But there's a shelter today in Liberia. We have no regulatory parking lot. That is why you say motorcyclists are just reckless. They just park anywhere part of the place. We have no terminal. Financial assistance. Let's take, for example, the people say we are criminals. They bring and believe that I heard IG saying to curtail criminal rates. But we
let me read that portion you are just talking about. Hold on. Let me read that portion where the government said, and let me read that for our people who are listening. The government said standing signed between the Liberian police and the motorcycle. Tony Freeman named the let me go to the one here. Speaking during the signing ceremony, Nelson Freeman, Deputy Inspector General for Operation at the Liberian National Police, said the restrictions of the cyclists is meant for public safety, that's one, to curtail accidents, that's two, and to curtail crime. In other words, the police is already accusing you that you are in the business of committing crimes.
There's where our disappointment at. Because what our driving at is this. We have been claimed, they have claimed that we are criminals. We have been burned all kinds of names. That when the girls even standing by the roadside, someone jack up bed, they say that motorcyclist. Because he's using motorbike. They say that motorcyclist. But there's the issue. You buy motorbike for your friend, your brother, your nephew, or whatever relationship that person have with you. It's a means of empowering a person. But you're not buying that back for that person free. It's a business. You buy it back like for 1,000, you get it back to the man for like from 1,003 or whatever the amount will be agreed upon. Then in a twinkle of an eye, 1 week or 2 weeks, the person come before and say, "Oh, chief, the motorbike is steal from me." Oh. I mean, this is something that has caused so much trauma for so many motorcyclists and a setback.
Okay, let me go to Anthony. Anthony has 2 questions for you to begin with. Anthony, you get a question there or comment? You are muted, bro. You are muted.
Sorry. But part of the issues, he talked about are internal issues, right? That union circumstances, all those things that are internal stuff. They can handle it themselves. What I'm more interested in, and he said something that really struck a call to me. Anybody can battle back today. Anybody can put it in the street and start riding. That means the public life is in risk or at risk. Somebody battle back. The next day they're in the street, they're riding. They carry your daughter to school. They're bringing your uncle home. They carry your wife to work. No training whatsoever. Mr. Carroll, people are surviving in Liberia by the mercy of God. By the mercy of God. Because he went to driving school. He know a U sign from a stop sign and a crooked road sign and bridge coming to the left. He knows those things. Have he taken the time to do verbal tutoring or weekly coaching as an activate? Have you done those things for your guys that you're advocating for? I don't know. If you didn't, help us to know those things. Right?
So,
what you need to advocate for now or negotiate for now.
I'll come to you. That will Anthony, bro. Go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah. Let me give you something that you can go to the table with. Go negotiate that anywhere between 4 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. that you allow you to plow the street because you mentioned that corridor is the only corridor that link you to Single, to link you to the city. So guess what? Between 4 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., y'all should be allowed so you can get people in the city real quick. Then y'all stop until 5:30 p.m. Y'all should be allowed access again to be able to bring those people back from the city to their various locations between 5:30 to 8 p.m. Right? After that, you are no longer allowed. Y'all negotiate for that. It makes some sense. It will also ease up some burning. It's too early in the morning. Not everybody on the road. You're getting people in the city quicker. You can negotiate that. It's not a permanent solution. It's a temporary solution. But it will also not take money from your pocket completely. It will give you some money. But during the course of the day, from Monday to Friday, then if you allow you on Saturday and Sunday to also have access at least for 4 hours on that road because of the road condition. They cannot construct new road today. You must say you know that it will not be possible. But you can go to that discussion board with something.
Okay, thank you very much. Look, we don't have a lot of time. I want Anthony to, if it's possible for you to take a seat by our guest there to take some calls. If you are listening to us, we want you to place your call and join the conversation. We'll go back to our studio guest. What's your name again, my brother? I'm sorry.
I'm Claudius.
Claudius is in studio there. If you want to contribute, and if you're a motorcyclist and you are listening and you want to speak to what Claudius is talking about, to give him more support in his comments, you can call the number 376 869 0776 376 869. Very soon we will work on our Lone Star and you guys will be able to call our Lone Star number. But if you want to call now, you can go ahead. We'll pick your call. It's 0776 376 869. Anthony, do you have anything there?
We have a caller already on the line. Hello, what's your name?
Yeah, I'm Chimada. I call from rehab.
Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I've been listening to your conversation for a while.
Mm-hmm.
and the fellow defending things that are actually happening, and he want to defend it one way, right? Because it's against them. We think they think it's against them. It's for the safety of their own lives. Their fathers.
Oh, okay. We lost this caller, but let's start.
Yeah.
Person. Hello, what's your name? Hello, hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Welcome. What's your name?
Good evening.
You are live on the radio. What is your name?
Yeah, this is Louis Gidi calling from Duparo Shawa community.
Okay, let's hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, one of the family.
Go ahead. You are live.
Okay, I just want to ask my brother in the studio there concerning about the rules that given to the Sakole. You know, this is a country that leaders want to, overlook other people in the country. As you see in the country now, there's no job. And some of all live on the Sakole. We buy our land from there and build our houses, and our children are going to school. We are not doing a government. So the government are trying to tell us to take off on the street. What are then provide for us to focus on that we are not going on the street? And they are talking about Sakole are the criminal. Therefore, you know that those cars, those Tesla, those Jeep, they are the big criminals. Taking that Jeep in the night, getting people jumping from the street, sacrificing them. The guys on taxi, the guys searching me on the taxi. They are responsible to harass people everywhere. Are they not seeing that?
Thank you very much. Let's talk to this next caller. Hello. Hello. Yeah, what's your name and where have you called from?
It was fine. I called you fine.
Your line is so bad. Your line is so bad.
Are you getting me now?
Okay, you are much better. Let's hear you.
Hello?
You are live. Let's hear you.
I guess you're getting me now, right?
Yeah. You are much better.
Okay, so I've been following the conversation and I just try to make some input in what is discussed. So I think what is happening is our government does not come out with innovation, but sometimes they come to just impose. The reason why I say that is that before you make a unilateral decision, you must be able to look at the circumstances that prevail. Okay, let's take for instance, right? If you try to move motorcyclists from the street, let us understand in the first place that there is no job for many young people. Those guys who are riding motorcycles, families who they are catering to. Okay, if you're taking all of them from in the city, what happened to those ones who reside or live in the city that rise that from the city for survival? Will all of them move from the city to come to the area where you call the regular zone side for them to operate? What happened to them? Are you going to remove them from the real homes they're living in from the city side? Or how are they going to do that transport from there to the place that you're accepting? Okay, can we take into consideration those other people who are not also commercializing their motorcycle but using it for private purposes, like students from university who go to the back? What is the procedure, or how are you going to allow them to form part of traveling on the road or planning the road to get to the institution that they are going for learning? You get me? Okay. So I think what needs to happen is that the government needs to come out with policy that will govern your purpose of getting on the major streets. Before this on the major streets, you must have probably a registration document. You must have a license, a driver license that must permit you to go on the street. You must have at least a helmet. You must at least know one passenger at a time. Right? And, if restrictions are there.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's cross over to the who is here? Hello, what's your name? Hello?
Go away from the set.
You have to walk away from your radio. What is your name and where you call from?
Thank you very much. I'm T. Jeremiah Cephas calling you from Monrovia.
Okay, let's hear you.
With the topic on the discussion is good. Like the guy in studio who is representing the motorcyclists, you call himself an activist. Yes, indeed, some of these things he said they are all okay. But what government needs to do is to study what are those necessary mechanisms needs to put into place, taking into consideration the high economic constraint our people are living under now. That just take for instance of recent that they just talk about what inspection, Ministry of Transport. Both of the guys packed their cars. The only route we had to go to offices or to commute or to our very working areas were the motorcyclists. And for some of us work within a single belt. So if you will see, you want to restrict them not to plow that street, and that's the only means we get it. So I want to infringe also on our rights. But when I should be at office, like one of the panelists said, they should pick us by 4 o'clock. So I mean, are you telling me want to infringe on our right by 4 o'clock? We should wake up and go get to office, government office will be waiting? No, absolutely no. So the best thing you can do, government, make sure the necessary mechanism put into place in terms of safety measures. Let the guy be properly dressed. Let them have all of their gears, all of their what you call maybe V mirrors be intact. Let them follow the regulations of traffic. Then we can plow that street. But to say you want to restrict the no-go zone, I think we'll be going back to the dark days. Like a few years back, we used to fight for cars to see how we can go. But today, Tesla driver cannot block us because we have had tricycle. We do have motorcycles. Even some of these shorter distances, the Tesla driver used to refuse. When we say, I'm going to think of it, they say, no, I'm only taking Boys Town. And we will stand over there.
Okay, I think the guys dropped. Let's take 2 more calls and then we will read our comments and go back to our studio guest to get some more stuff from him.
Mr. Jerry, you know, I'm here laughing because they know the safety part is important.
Let's take 2 more calls. Anthony, let's take 2 more calls.
Okay.
We are not hearing you. We're not hearing you, Anthony.
Is he hearing us?
He's hearing us, but we're not hearing
Mr. Phillips.
Are you getting us?
Yeah, we're hearing you now.
Okay.
We can hear you now.
I think we have to take 2 more calls and end the program because I was attacked last night about that for off the radio discussion. Let's talk to this person. Hello.
Oh, okay.
Hello. Yeah, welcome. Okay, Charles, let's hear you.
We're not hearing him.
Yeah, can Charles be audible, please?
You are muted, Anthony. We can't hear him.
Go ahead.
No, we can't. We can't understand anything. I think we can end it from right here.
Okay. So
you said you were attacked last night by what? What you were attacked?
All right. So I think I will just speak to the point quickly. And are you guys getting me now?
Yeah, we are getting you, even though it's forcible. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so what I was saying is that last night I was before I can say that. Let's go back to our guest here who will be saying something about what the caller said before we can wrap up. So let's hear you quickly.
Okay, so thank you. Thank you for the invite. Thanks for the opportunity. And we want to appeal to the situation to see the motorcyclist issue as a priority and as a national issue. Or we are cyclists, we are not wayward, and we are not uh what people think we are Liberians. But we also want you to go to join the advocacy in making sure that the leadership that claim to be governing the motorcycle sector should be called to book. As a matter of fact, we are planning as of now to assemble at the national legislature to petition the legislatures on issues confronting us as
Anthony, we're going to take you
cyclists
from air a little
based
bit.
on the
No,
irregularity of the unions. Like I said first when I call on the show, what we expect this government to do for us is to initiate programs, introduce to us programs, try to get motorcyclists,
hold on, my brother.
that they need
Hold on, my
to
brother.
empower them. We want to
Hold on, my
live
brother.
on
Nobody's
motorcycle.
hearing you.
I mean,
Hold
it's so
on.
disgusting that we see ourselves trying
Brother,
to
hold
give
on.
into the country economy, but then
Can you
unfortunately
hear us?
people do see that, but they prioritize Zogos
Anthony,
and men
Anthony, stop the brother a little bit.
taking drugs. I mean, to destroy the soil, maybe harm to the society, but these are people we see government officials and other philanthropists,
Just
what society institutions turning to. But we also deserve that attention, and we're calling on every one of you to join us in the issue of the advocacy. Keyon, Harris, Cody, and the rest of the guys, and they have managed to divert every form that comes in. That is why you see the setup today is very much deplorable. Motorcycles are there here and there.
Okay.
They are using
So
us
because
for
of
business.
time, because of time, we'll have to hold you there. Thank you all so much for honoring our invitation today, and we hope that we'll talk to you more. Thank you all so much. Okay. Let me see if I can get this adjusted very quickly here.
Okay, Anthony will come back on. Anthony, I don't know
Yes.
who is listening to some audio.
I think it should be I think Mr. Gates, something like that.
Mr. Gay, are you
No, I'm
listening to
not.
audio?
I'm not. No, nothing on. I turned my car off. I
Okay.
think I had to remove my seatbelt.
I think it gone. It was in studio. It coming from studio.
Okay.
Listen, I really feel like this brother we should be able to bring the two federation head into this place. If the brother is still in studio and he got a number for the two federation leaders, let him give it to Anthony. Anthony, you can bring them in studio tomorrow, so we can have
Absolutely.
Yeah, we want to hear from them. The two, and then if you have time tomorrow, we can use 1 hour for the two federation to speak, and then we can get our Commissioner Freeman number to see if we can get Commissioner Freeman to speak to this thing, because we want to know what training program the government is putting in place for them. I mean, we still have the echo. I don't know where it's coming from, but Anthony, I think you go off and come back in. But when you go off, then we're not on air.
No, I think it's Mr. Gay because I muted his mic and we are not getting the feedback.
Ah, okay, Mr. Gay, I think that's you.
Unmute my mic now. Are you getting the feedback? Because I'm unmuted now.
Good. We are good. No, it's still coming
So
back.
can I speak?
Okay, Mr. Gay, go back out and come back in.
All right. So this is the work of the of technology. So we have to do this over and over again. So you were saying something, sir. So
Yeah, what I'm saying, please get the number of the two federation heads. Let them come in the studio tomorrow, so we can understand this thing. And if you get a number for Commissioner Freeman, you can get our number. We can call him and he can speak to the issue, because there's something that is said in our agreement. I talk about training. Is the government putting in place training for these people? Is this why they are restricting them? And after they do the training, are they going to get them back into the area that they are restricting them from? We want to know all of these things, because we're going to want to get to the bottom of it. Let me read a few comments and then we will call this a night. This one is coming from Minister Shadrach. Wanna say good evening. Let me wear my glasses to be better than what I'm reading. Good day. I'm Pastor Shadrach Wonder watching from Bartnersville Estate. So we are far away in Bartnersville. That's great. Melvin Page, good evening. Want to say this one is coming from Minister Wonder. It say, will Honorable Sokam be in studio? No, he was here yesterday, so he's not going to be here today. This one is coming from Deborah Dennis Jeru. Say, please share the video. Thank you for sharing that video for us. Fafini She Sumaru says, the Kiki, he
That's the keke.
Oh, the keke. Oh, the keke, I will understand, but not the motorcycle. They move faster and does not impede you back. That one not true. Deborah Dana Jerusalem is writing and said the government needs to put all of the bike riders through the proper training before getting in the street. She continues, and the riders behave like they do not have common sense. Strong comment that coming from that. Lara Talu says, good evening, my dear brother and friend Anthony. Well, you got a lot of friends here. Josephus is religiously listening. And this one is coming from Shiki Don Dada. It says, provide job first for the youth. I don't know what do you mean by that. But anyways, this one, D. Emmanuel Chukwi, is all the way in Breville, and he is monitoring the radio station from there, which means we are still good with our signals. And Hawkins Gamon Bio, hey, Gamon Bio guy, he said, man, a warrior. Gamon Bio Reeves say, Gibson Jeruga 5, only 5 view. Ha ha ha, my man, I get 5. Now 5 people listen, so that one no problem. We want to say thank you to Abraham, multimedia journalist Carly Jr. He's watching live from Pinsville City, Monrovia. Great job, he says. And we also want to just stop. You read this one last one. Say echo. We need to be adjusted. Yes, what need to be done, and we'll work on that. We're going to use the how they call it OBS. We're going to use the OBS to create our camera link so that way will not clash with the voice that we clash with. But this is the 3rd day of broadcasting with the radio station, so we expect ourselves to make the kind of mistake. It was bad. We are going to fix that, and trust me. Oh, thank you very much. This is Nelson Freeman's number. That's good. Let me see if I can call Nelson Freeman on here to get Nelson Freeman to speak to some of this issue here. I want you to copy that quickly for me before it goes. 777. Oh, I don't want to. I will remove it. Let me tell the guy to remove it when I finish covering it so that we'll not spread it, man, to do around. Okay, I'm calling him to see if he's going to answer.
Well, man, it's a policeman. Even his number go around. It's a police.
Yeah, it's a police officer. Yeah. So we're going to see if we can. Anthony Freeman, how you doing? This is Gibson Jeru from Blaze 90.7. How you doing, sir? Okay, thank you very much. So the reason I call you, we had a motorcyclist on here, and they were upset with the agreement that you guys reached, and we really just want to get a few words from you. You talk about the agreement. Can you tell our listener what really is in this agreement that will benefit the motorcyclists?
Am I on air?
You are on air, sir.
Wow. I mean, isn't it a practical to just give some prior notice?
Well, I mean, you are probably but if you want to,
I got 2 phones. I got 2 phones in my ear, so I got my wife on the other phone. And I got the other phone.
My man, you can talk to her. Just 1 minute, my man. Just 1 minute.
Mommy, please let me go to put me on the air or into myself. Let me go.
Yeah, tell mommy we're sorry, man. We're sorry.
That's okay, sir. That's okay.
Hello, Anthony Fremont. Anthony Fremont, you guys are doing a great job. You guys are doing a great job. and we want to also help to complement the process. That's the effort of the radio station. So we just want to make sure everybody understand. But you guys reached an agreement recently. Motorcyclists are saying that you guys need to train them, and the restrictions is taking breath from their mouth. So we just want to get a little word from you. What really benefit them in this agreement? Are you there? Oh, it looked like he left. Anthony, can you call him from your side?
Okay, let me see if I can do that. If he was.
So yeah, Mr. Jerry, why he's calling it Anthony back? You know, let me say some of the things that came to mind when the advocate for the motorcycle was speaking. Look, Mr. Jerry, let me say that.
Yes.
And some of the callers, you know, you can't have it both ways. You can't have your kid.
Okay, Anthony, calling from that side. Yeah, go ahead, Anthony.
You can't have your cake both ways. You can't have the cake and want to eat at the same time. You can't do both things, right? So here's the thing. Number one thing here, they all know that we are speaking about is safety. The Article 13, the man asked about, it clearly states that, hey, you have a free way to do whatever you want to do, move around, but in the confines of the law, that you should follow public safety protocol. You understand? You should follow it. You should follow it. You drink water from the plastic bag, you throw it in the street, then you expect the government to come clean the dirt from the street. That the government put it there? No. You're supposed to know that you shouldn't put it there in the streets. Same thing with the
so
supposed
let
to
me
wear
just,
a helmet.
Mr. Okay, let me just tell you that quickly. We have Anthony Nelson Freeman online. We managed to get him. So welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, and it's a pleasing pleasure to be on your radio.
Okay. So we understand that the Liberia National Police and that of the Motorcycle and Tricycle Union signed a memorandum of understanding that they will be off the streets, some major streets in Monrovia by the 15th of May. Can you tell us more about that? Because we read a statement here where you inform the motorcyclists that it is because of their safety, public safety, crime, and a criminal rate as well.
So thank you so much, and we are glad to be here. And it's important to note that this is purely a public safety initiative, and it's intended to provide a safe corridor for the general public and the motorcyclists themselves. So it might interest you to know that we met the motorcycle unions in different groupings. That was NAMFONTU. It's called the National Federation of Motorcycle and Tricycle Association of Liberia, NAMFONTA, and there was FOMTU, Federation of Motorcycle Transport Union of Liberia. Through our engagement with them, they managed to form a merger, and the merger, as we speak, is referred to as NFOMTU, which means the merger Federation of Motorcycle and Tricycle Union of Liberia. So we're dealing with them from a single perspective. And when we succeeded in getting them to form the federation, then we start to think about what can we do to enhance public safety and make the society safe. And against that background, we said to them, what can we do? We sat across the table, talk about training for them. We talk about capacity building, where we can make sure that we start to look in different areas other than the motorcycle industry. And we also talk about the level of risks that they go through when they're running late nights, the number of times they're being attacked. I mean, there's a case in point that touched me so much, and I might be getting the guy, if I need his consent, to bring him up as one of the ambassadors. This is a motorcyclist who was in right hand, I'm told, got cut off altogether while attempting to steal his motorcycle. To God be the glory that he survived, he's alive, but I mean, he lost one of his hand from his wrist, he lost all his fingers. He cannot even ride a motorcycle right now, and he's into money-changing business right now. So we are undertaking this initiative to provide safety and security for people who telephones and bags have been snatched. For motorists who vehicles are usually, tail lights are broken, view mirrors are broken, and you can nobody stop to even take care of them. And even the educational component have got to do it. I don't know if you're in Monrovia, but you will see that motorcycles are vehicles, like combustible engines are all vehicles. So motorcycles, cars, trucks, and the like. But you realize that even when the traffic lights come on, the red lights are on, they don't seem to understand when to stop, when to go, when to prepare to go. That is, they don't know what the green light is, they don't know what the orange light is, they don't know what the red light is. They don't even, some of them don't even understand what the crosswalks are for. That is because there are new entrants every day in the industry. So we intend to conduct some very compulsory training for them. The compulsory training in our mind would be a prerequisite to obtaining a driver's license or operator's license. It would be a prerequisite for even obtaining your motorcycle documentation. That way we think if they work with them and they cooperate, with including the general public, we will create a safe environment for each and every one of us. Nobody will have to worry about your little child crossing the road, a school-going child that will be knocked down by one motorcyclist because he doesn't understand what the rules of the roads are. Nobody will be worried about your females getting broken, and nobody's going to think about it. We're also thinking about color coding, for example. We're intending to make sure that they're color coded in specific color with no cost to them. We're working with partners who are willing to help them to provide those numbering for their helmets, providing reflective vests that will have numbers on them, put the same number. You can imagine if a motorcycle has, say for example, if you're running in Painesville, we have P001. So everybody knows this motorcycle is from Painesville. It's heavily marked, it's marked on the helmet, so even if he's involved into any situation, he can easily be identified. On the other hand, if the motorcycle is stolen, it can also be easily identified and retrieved. So this is for both parties. It's in the interest of the general public and the motorcyclists as well.
Okay, so how long is this initiative is going to last for?
Well, it's intended to be eternal. That is to say, it's going to last for as long as we are alive. It's intended to enhance what we refer to as a safety culture. It's not a practice that we intend to adopt for a day or two. It's something we intend to do that everybody will get to understand exactly that these are characteristics that you need to master. These are skills you need to consider yourself that carry them all along. You don't have to wait for the policeman to tell you, you know why, stop on the crosswalk. You don't have to wait for the police officer to tell you that the red lights are on. So it's intended to last forever. I mean, it's something we're trying to for a lack of better word, ingrain in the minds of the motorcyclists and the general public.
Okay, so before the team, the panelists coming to ask you maybe one or two questions. Is this initiative only limited to Montserrado or Monrovia, or are you going to carry on decentralization of it?
Well, Montserrado or Monrovia is actually the melting pot. So it's actually there's an African proverb that says the fire burns where it starts from before it starts to spread.
Okay.
So Montserrado having the biggest population, having both traffic related issues than most parts of Monrovia, we're initiating it there. We're going to launch it here, but it's not intended to stop here. It's intended to go across the whole Republic of Liberia.
Okay, so how many motorcyclists as well as tricyclists are we targeting? Or are you targeting that?
We are targeting the motorcycles and tricycles within the length of the Republic of Liberia, 100%. It's important to know that this is not motorcycles alone. I mean, today it seems to be in the limelight, but we are also looking at it from every sphere of life.
Okay, so my colleagues want to ask you some
No, that's okay. It's okay. Thank you. And
all spheres of life. We're also, it's not just about the motorcyclists that I'm saying.
You will never make an arrangement with him.
Motorists who have got those high beam lights that when they flash, and other road users cannot easily see the road. They might get into accidents. Have you considered motorists who do not even know when to put their signal lights on when they're bending left and right? Have you think about or thought about the truck drivers, for example, that got those defective trucks that are running all around in town with no lights and broken down everywhere on the Ralphie Highway and everywhere around town at claiming lights? So this is not only about the motorcyclists. It's today initiated and starting with them, but we intend to take it across to every sector that is affected by our workings.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for taking up your time to talk to us. We hope to get back to you in due course, but thank you all so much. You can have your rest now. Thank you all so much.
So you have panelists that needed to talk to me. I mean, I hear you talking about
but
are there any?
Yeah, but
you won't hear us. You will not hear us.
No. I can make him to hear
yeah,
you.
But Mr. Jerry, get me an arrangement with him. So we can have him for another show.
Look,
okay, so
what's your frequency?
90.7. 90.7.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Yes, thank you for us.
I can listen to you while I'm on the radio, so we'll try to follow you.
Okay, thank you all so much. We will call you some days again to be a part of the program. Maybe we'll discuss other issues of national concern not pertaining to motorcycle, but we want to thank you all so much. So, gentlemen, there you have it.
Look, I think the guy spoke Anthony's words because those were the words that Anthony was speaking. So, because the police director, the police commissioner, deputy police commissioner just spoke, Anthony, we're going to take calls one more time.
No problem.
Because everybody were talking without the police commissioner explanation. Maybe they have a change of mind. So, Anthony, take 5 calls and let's see.
Yeah, so 0776 376 869, 0776 376 869 is the number to call. We are working out all modalities to see how best we can get our Lone Star line on. Let's cross here and talk to this caller. Hello, welcome. What's your name?
Yeah, some of them was concerned to understand.
What is your name first, and where do you call from, please?
Oh, okay. I'm Edward. Edward. I copied yours in front, right? I copied in. While the assistant police IG was on the line, I text you, asking you to what about private motorcycle, but you did not,
No, it is because you did not text my private line. It is the general landline that I don't read messages on. Anyway, go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, so that was my concern. Anyway, we thought to understand in private against students to their real school locations for learning. But you did not see the message as you said. So that was my concern anyway.
Okay, thank you all so much. Let's see how best we can get the view of other callers. Hello. Okay, the person is off the line, but 0776 376 869, 0776 37 68 69 is the number you can call. 776 37 68 69 is the number to call, and you're going to have your say right here on Bliss Radio 90.7.
90.7.
The Rehab Community Old Boston.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Welcome.
This is Flomo.
You call from where?
Duparo.
Duparo. Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what Ajira or making there or that who.
The Deputy Inspector General for Operations.
Okay, for operation.
Yeah.
Okay, this is one of the circles we are calling onto them. It's nothing to settle in this country, but a circle where we have been free in the 6 years looking for our survival. We want to destroy it. They have to get prepared for another 50 years crisis in this country.
God forbid. God forbid.
My brother, you are the one not touching the peace of the country.
Yeah, Philip.
Yeah, welcome. Your name again?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I'm Pascal Davis again from District 6.
Yeah, I just want you to do that for the benefit of those who listen.
Yeah, I know. What? Look, Philip, we have to stop this. I just listened to the deputy IG. We are not. You can't keep justifying. And somebody say that people can wreck. Even the taxi drivers, they drive recklessly. All we asking of the police is to tell them how to drive and move. Gee, you can't bring one segment of the motorcyclists, like the guy said. There are so many things we know is happening in the motorcyclist union. You can't bring one Keyon with no disrespect to him because he's a Lufian, he's a friend to Mr. Bwaka. He pledged his support to Mr. Bwaka during the 2023 campaign. You took a job at MP as consultant and make $3,500 US, and you think you're going to use it to sign an MOU to ensure that motorcycle does not fly the street. I was just asking you, have you read the traffic vehicle laws of this country? Have you also been able to read a constitution that says you can't stop people of their movement? Okay, I agree you want to stop them. The motorcyclists are saying to you, just stop the importation of motorbikes in the country. Simple as ABC. So don't, because why are you going to
don't let that caller go. I need to
so you say your radio station right here in Riha. So all your communication, conversation, your guests you want to have, they must come from right here, Riha. Nobody must come from India and do business with you. Is that making sense? Is that making sense? Simply because you saw that people can make accident, the children can run. So just provide the safety measure that all the guys are asking for. And that's what we're asking for. Okay. You can't come here and bring out your
Philip,
word
can I interact with the caller?
Because you get job and you want to pretend that you're working. They because the ignorant people is only working and cleaning unit. You think you bring that kind of flat mentality in the country here?
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Let's talk to the tech caller. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. What's your name?
This is T. Jeremiah Cephas speaking once more. Like your record said, yes, I'm calling you from Morovia, to be specific again.
Okay.
Like I listened to you, the essence of me to call back because I listened to the Inspector General, Deputy Inspector General. You know, if you want to eat a boiled egg, there are processes you got to pass through before having a boiled egg. Meaning you have to boil it and peel it before you can start to eat it. Mm-hmm. These are regulations they have on mind. Okay. If you see the essence, the process for which before you get a license, you must be trained. And that is a mandatory process. Through the training mentor, the registration process, you are going to understand who is from Tinga Village, who is the Sabo that lives in rehab. Then you are going to mark them. Based on that, you can now see how best the regulation can be conducted. Because you have trained them, you have done everything possible. They are trained to the traffic sign, when to go, where not to go, where to drive, where not to drive, how to overtake, what to do before overtaking. If you just do that, we will feel that yes, indeed, you have come to help the system. But to just abruptly wake up to say, this morning, nobody will plow the street. We foresee a danger in the future. We don't think you have come to prepare the system or to face the system. The only way we think we will avoid the high rates of crime. Maybe people going to begin Zoko again, or maybe Boko harassing people's homes at night, is to see how best to have the guys stay plotting until you can train them.
Okay.
If you train them, and you provide the necessary ideas and regulations, we think they will follow. But to take food from their mouth is a gross violation of the right to prevent them to plot the straight over. You can't restrict somebody's movement in a form of manner. Okay. The only way is you had a different route, scheduled to sink of fun.
Thank you.
Then we would have said yes, indeed. But thank you ever so much. We hope and pray that this program will come every time to educate our people, where we will see our participation and our voices will be here. Thank you ever so much.
You're most welcome. We got 2 more callers to take, and if we can take the 2 calls, fine. If we can't, then we're going to call it a date. But I think you guys are listening to the callers, and
I think Anthony, it's okay. I think it's okay. I think
we can stop it here because everyone is saying the same thing.
Yeah, but here is the thing. We want to say thanks for all those who have been listening to the radio station, Blaze Radio 90.7 FM. We want you to continue to listen to the radio station. We are going to champion issues that make sense, champion issues that touch the heart of the people. I want to welcome Benson Moko. Benson Moko is our correspondent in Margibi County. I don't know, Benson, whether you are getting us there through the radio 90.7. If not, we want to work on that. And Benson, I want you to get in contact with Anthony Phillips. He is going to be the one that will coordinate all the correspondence at this point for you to be able to report on air. So Benson Moko, I will send the list of the correspondent to Anthony to be able to navigate that. All right. So we want to go back to Anthony. Anthony, we stay here now going to 3 hours now. Usually we have 2 hours. Today we begin our 24-hour, correct?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So we are good. We're good. We can steal some of their time because they don't even have a lot of time.
I was just about to say you owing us.
Anthony,
Wow.
we go 24 hours and they don't have much to offer in that 24 hours. So
but Mr. Jeru, I two things happened on the show today. Number one, we had an advocate from the motorcycle, call on the show, and immediately we brought into the studio, and we also have the deputy police IG for operation also call on the show and give a perspective. This is how conversation need to be held on radio, right? People are quoting Article 13 of the Constitution, but they are quoting only the first sentence of that of that article. That article hold you accountable that you should follow public safety. Any combustible machine, motorbike, car, as long as you are operating it and it go more than 10 miles an hour, you're supposed to be trained on it before you operate it. It's not the government responsibility, but in this process, the government is offering all of you advocates and motorcyclists out there. Since you think you know the law, you are invited to LMP headquarters to meet with the RG and proffer your idea. Stop hiding behind your telephone and calling radio station and expressing your frustration. Take your idea, put it on pen and paper, or take the pen and paper and write it down and walk into that conference room and present your petition to them. And just sit across the table and discuss the matter. You want to protest? They will provide police officer for you. If you go outside the confines of your protest, they will deal with you. But what are you protesting about? Are you protesting that they can't stop you from plying the principal streets? The government is clubbed with the responsibility.
No, don't get it wrong, Mr. K.
Yeah.
The guests we had in studio, Claudia said, they got two components of the motorcycle and tricycle union in Liberia. One is.
But you hear the deputy police director
from the opposition.
Said
one is
that they merged them.
The other one is from the union.
Go there and say, no, we are not merged. How do he know that they are not merged? They got to go there. Right? They have to show up and say, no, we didn't merge with this guy. They're making a story. But the man just told you that right now, it is one group. They have to go there and debunk that idea. Right now, the police deputy IG for operation just told us on the radio that the motorcycle union have merged. It's one union now. So if they don't agree with that, then they have to go there. It is an orange branch extended to them. This is an opportunity. If you think you are a leader of this group, don't hide behind your telephone and call radio station and complain. Take your idea, your decision to the table. And if you cannot do that, then you have no place to argue. It's from now to May 15. You still got 14 more days left, or 13 more days to be precise. You see, that's the thing we do, we Liberian people. We like to make noise. All that noise you're making now, they say, come to the table. Come. Ma Ellen did that very well when the protester started protesting. She got out from her car and said, you can't talk. You can't, my beginning, you can't talk. Many of these guys are making noise. They were intimidated by her because they were just making noise. The woman said, "Come tell me now, what your problem? Are you okay? Why you thing here? Let's talk the thing." Right? If she starts speaking the real colloquial to them, They got confused. So you want to operate in chaos, or you want to operate on a diplomatic protocol, on a dignity, on a respect? You can't claim that you want to quote Constitution, but you take one sentence out of the article and run with it. That says Article 13 says you should abide by the rules and regulations. Do you know a person who was walking, a pedestrian, has the right, when that pedestrian reaches certain limit on the street, you cannot go again. You gotta wait until they walk. In like, bro, we're not gonna stop for you. Or we're gonna motorbike and stop. By the time they see you, move on the road. We're not more hit you. Well, the driver license book tells you. The driver license book in Liberia and America is the same. Liberia copied from America anyway. It's the exact same thing. Pedestrian has the right of way. The car can't stop. The motorbike operator can't stop for the pedestrian. So when you have your grievances, take it to the table. The IG invited you. Go there. If you don't agree with that group, say, okay, we don't agree with that group. So yeah, that's it, Mr. Geru. I've been here too long.
Thank you very much, Anthony. Thank you very much, Anthony. I got you. You high your way, but I know that motorcycle when they listen to you now, they'll be so mad with you. But you know,
be mad. We are hustling, but
tomorrow we're going to talk about this topic again. Anthony, I want you to do everything you can to get either one or two of those federation leaders to bring them in studio. And
in fact, the me man who is John F. Kenyon number is here. I'm going to get in contact with him tomorrow.
Great. Even if we get no other guests tomorrow, let that discuss the motorcycle issue. It is very, very important. And the Deputy RG, Anthony, he talked about crosswalk. That's something I personally saw. When you get to crosswalk, when you stop, some taxi driver, not even motorcyclists alone, some drivers in Monrovia, taxi, private drivers, and others.
They don't stop.
They don't stop. It's not just motorcyclists alone. So if we are taking action on motorcyclists at this point, we should have penalty for people, vehicles, taxi or bus or whatever, who are not even stopping at crosswalk too, because they endanger people's lives. And so I want to say thanks to all of you who have
absolutely, Mr. Geru. And like I said earlier, I said this thing here, it may be like the targeting the motorcyclists, right? It's a long process.
Right.
The motorcycle is the first group because they are the most used group. They are the most, service group. Motorcycle got more customers, more passengers than the taxi driver, than the other people. So the tricycle, the keke, and the motorbike guys get more passengers. So you start with them first before you address the other guy. Even the IG even said these trucks that bring container in during the course of the week, Monday through Friday, from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., they will not be flying the street of Monrovia too. You see the container falling and falling on people.
That's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. The Grand Jeddah Association convention is starting on Friday, and we'll have some of the officials, the president, the board chair, all of these people will be here. We might host them on our show, but tomorrow, Anthony, we can continue this topic and continue other topics, and then we will also try to see if we can get Hassan Fadike to come on and talk about the drug bust that the DA made recently. So try all your efforts and see and get back to me as early as you can tomorrow so we can make. We want to say thank you, Anthony, for what you're doing. We will work on the OBS and see how we can connect our cameras. So you did good today, even though it was a little bit of feedback, but I mean, you did.
That's good. But guys, I'll talk to you later, man. I gotta run.
Yeah, thank you very much, Anthony, for going. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today, Anthony. Let me see if I can play. No, I can't play any song. Anthony, you can take it over from me, and I'll say bye-bye from my end. Thank you very much.
Okay.